Okay, guys, here is my Saturday workout. This is mostly posterior chain and some extra back work. So I start the day with calves, just getting blood in there. This set was, I think, 3.5 minutes long. So everything in this video is going to be sped up, just like all the other ones. You guys don't need to watch real time me doing 5-minute sets because my sets do extend very, very long. It's not always on purpose. It's just I just go by feel, and if everything's firing and on point, I just ride that set out until it's done, until I get everything out of it and everything's exhausted, right? We get into this leg curl here. I think I did 3 or 4 sets here. Here's my top set. I believe it ends up being a drop set with an iso hold or something along those lines. I have a little bit of issues with the left hamstring, just feeling it. So I'm actually leaning into that left hamstring a little bit and putting a little more taxing load on it. Same theme as the other days. I'm thinking about dragging my heels through wet cement or mud. That's kind of what's going through my head. It really helps me stay intentional with keeping the tension. So everything I'm thinking about pulling through mud. Right here, I'm fighting against that weight, and everything's sitting on my hamstring, trying to keep my calves out of it, trying to keep the joints and ligaments out of it, and really just trying to hold that weight with my hamstring as long as I can. The body you'll start feeling it look for other muscles to help you. These are to simulate a 45-degree glute extension. This actually worked out really, really well. I was skeptical about it, and I'm glad I found this setup. But this is a cluster set, 6 sets of 6, about 15, 20 seconds rest in between each set. Absolutely brutal here. I'm thinking about moving nothing but my glutes. So the thought process is just glutes, glutes, glutes. In the bottom of the bottom of the range of motion here, I'm thinking about getting my glutes as long as I can, almost pushing my ass back towards the wall behind me. And then as I'm bending over more, I'm thinking about pushing my ass up to the sky, right? Those are kind of the cues that I was using. But all the intention is just glutes, glutes, glutes the whole time. My feet, I'm actually thinking about kind of dragging back towards the rack, almost like you're pushing the pavement away from you. Really, really helps activate the glutes and the hamstrings in this movement. This is a great, great set. I almost prefer these over the typical 45-degree hyperextension machine that you see at any local gym, everything like that. So, again, basement training for the win. Really starting to favor this over any of my local gyms, and I have some good gyms around me, but man, it's hard to beat your own space. Great movement here. The jammer arms were a new adjustment, so you can kind of see me fucking with my feet and trying to figure it out. That band tension is very light, and it's just to cue the hips, so there's no real strength benefit from that band. It's honestly just helping me initiate that hip movement and stay on the glutes. I'm thinking about dragging my feet again behind me. So intention the entire time of pulling my feet back and trying to pull the pavement away from me. And I'm actually trying to strive to get a little internal rotation of the hip by focusing on the inner heel and the big toe and kind of dragging those back. I hope that makes sense. Hopefully you guys can visualize that, because it's a game changer as far as proprioception and feeling those hamstrings, glutes. But that was my intention of this movement, is really just thinking about the glutes and the feet and the pressure on the feet. Really, really good shit here. I'm trying to make these perfect. I could bang a lot of weight with these movements if I wanted to. I used to be a very, very strong deadlifter. I still am a strong deadlifter, but that's not my intention anymore. It's really just, trying to get great muscle stimulation and stay healthy in the process, stay safe, just have fun. This is fun training for me. It looks boring, but man, this stuff is so intense in a different way. And it's really changing the game for me, and hopefully it's adding years to how long I'm able to do this stuff. And you know, I don't want to be taken out of training ever. I want to be able to do this for the rest of my life. So making smart choices is going to be how I do that. Great T-bar row here. I'm using a prime attachment, and I'm actually just resting the attachment and balancing the attachment under the barbell. It works out really nice. But the intention here was trying to stay more 90 to the ground. I start the set strict, and then I get a little funny with it on purpose, just to try to sneak in some extra reps. Then we drop the weight, and now we do really, really strict shit and just try to ram blood into there, finish off that back, finish off this exercise with just total strict form and, you know, not as branch style, right? Really focusing on strict stuff on this set here and pumping as much blood, trying to get that back to cramp and getting a big full stretch in the bottom. This is a good movement here. These felt really good. I need to get a little more supination on the hand. It's hard for me to get that space out of the shoulder. So that's something that I've been actively working on. Once I do get a little more supination, I should be able to open up that shoulder a bit more, allowing that scapula to move better and to get more length out of that lat. And then in return, you'll be able to shorten the lat on the other end. Much better, much better. So yeah, this was good stuff here. These are more pretty movements. The intention is just high on, you know, thinking about that lat, time under tension. These are what I call pretty movements. You know, I don't think everything needs to be this way, especially not for back training. I really think the back responds well to sometimes just getting after it, gripping and ripping shit, within reason. You know, like I said before, you don't want to get hurt. We want to be in this game a long time. So you have to work in some pretty stuff. And it comes a long way, and it's a balancing act. It's not one or the other. You need a combination of everything, specifically for the back. Like I said, these are good here. These are Justin Harris rows or Troponin rows or Dante rows, whatever you want to call them. They're all the same shit. Whoever wants to claim credit for them. I did a muscle round here, so 6 sets of 4. And I'm keeping a light stretch in between each set. So I never set the weight down, keeping that constant tension on that lat. You can see me in between, trying to keep the abs tight too. At some point I kind of let my gut hang out. Sorry about that. So you got to see that. But this is the finishing movement. Really just trying to open the back up, get the rest of the blood in there that I can. These feel good on my shoulders too. They kind of open everything up, create some space. I really, really like this movement. It's always worked well for me. Like the Vogel row that you guys see in my other videos. I like a combination of like swooping and scraping and pulling. So thanks for watching, guys.